Have you ever noticed that the biggest manifestations in your life arrive not when you were forcing, obsessing, or pushing, but when you were calm, surrendered, and almost detached? Today, I'm going to teach you the secret behind manifestation that almost nobody teaches. Rest is the highest form of faith. Stillness is creation. Calmness is your magnetism. Before we start, here's exactly what we're going to be covering today in 6 parts. 1. Why manifesting doesn't require force and how stress blocks your desires. Part 2. Neville Goddard's Sabbath State and why rest collapses timelines. Part 3. The High Priestess feminine archetypes and how stillness makes you magnetic. Part 4. Timelines. Part 5. The nervous system and how this affects your manifestations. Part 6. How rest awakens your goddess identity. By the end of this video, I guarantee that you will understand why the calmest version of you is the most powerful manifestor. Part 1. Why manifesting doesn't require force. Most people try to manifest from stress, from lack, from overwhelm, from urgency, from desperation. They try to make things happen. Ironically, that energy pushes your desires away further because the body only manifests what it feels safe to receive. If your nervous system is dysregulated, your manifestations aren't going to land. Not because they're not meant for you, but because your energy isn't open. Your nervous system is your most powerful manifesting tool, not your mind. When your body feels safe, rested, and calm, your manifestations come in so easily. Part 2. Neville Goddard and the Sabbath State. Neville never said visualize harder. He taught that manifestation comes from entering the Sabbath, the deep inner state where your desire is already fulfilled. Fulfilled feels like calm, normal, grounded, inevitable, obvious. It's the moment your desire stops feeling like a fantasy and feels more like a memory. One of Neville's core teachings is creation is finished. You're simply aligning with the version of you that already has what you want. And how do you align? By resting, by releasing control, by slipping into the timeline where your desire already exists for you. Rest is how you collapse timelines. Think about it. If you already possessed your desire in the 3D, would you be acting the way that you're acting now? Would you constantly check the 3D? No, you'd be relaxed, you'd be calm, and you'd be enjoying life. Part 3. High Priestess feminine. There are 2 types of feminine energy that we're going to talk about in this video. There's the fiery warrior feminine, and there's the soft, serene, divine feminine. The fiery feminine chases outcomes. The soft feminine attracts outcomes. You do not need to be that go-getter girl anymore. One who's robotically farming for hours, scripting endlessly, or doing ritual after ritual. Those things can help, but when you assume the role of the operant power, when you sit in your rightful throne, you begin to manifest like an evolved goddess. At that level, rituals become unnecessary. The High Priestess, the evolved feminine, knows I don't need to push for what is already mine. Her power is quiet. Her magnetism is effortless. Her energy is relaxed, receptive, and open. She knows that the universe works for her. Timelines rearrange for her. She knows that rushing destroys manifestations. She knows that deciding is enough. It's that simple. She creates from softness, not stress. Part 4. Timelines and inevitability. When a manifestation comes into fruition, it doesn't feel exciting. You know why? Because it feels inevitable. Like, yeah, I made a decision, I said I wanted this, and it happened. Obviously. It's that quiet inner knowing, that quiet confidence, a recognition that your future is already chosen by you. This means that your body has already accepted the new reality before the new reality has even showed up in your 3D. So at this point, you don't manifest by trying, you manifest by being. Rest becomes the bridge between you and the version of you that you are trying to attract. The one who's already living your dream life. Except you're not imagining anymore, you're remembering. Part 5. The nervous system and receiving mode. A regulated nervous system naturally enters receiving mode. This feels like calmness, no rush, no stress, trust, groundedness, internal stability. The feeling that I know it's mine. I know it's done. Because look, your desires are not going to come to you when you're tense. Because what vibration are you giving off? You're giving off, oh, I don't have it. I don't have it. That's why I'm tense. But when you're rested, you're like, I'm sure because I already have it. Rest is the deepest form of receiving. How do you expect to receive with clenched energy? Your nervous system is the bridge between you and God. It dictates what is allowed to come into your life. And learning to regulate your nervous system isn't only going to benefit you when it comes to manifestations. In fact, manifesting what you want will be a cherry on top of the endless amount of perks you get from having a regulated nervous system. Look, there are usually 3 different states in which your nervous system can be in. The first one is fight or flight. And then there's freeze. And then there's rest and receive. Most people tend to be in fight or flight or freeze. So yeah, they may manifest a text back from their ex or someone, their SP, or they may manifest some money. But the thing is, they won't sustain those manifestations. Manifesting a text from someone isn't that much of a big deal. Keeping that person, inviting that person back into your life, a different version of them that suits you, now that's where you're winning. This can only be done when your nervous system is regulated, because then your body feels comfortable having that person, having that version of that person, having that amount of money in your life, having that success in your life. You don't keep what you want, you only keep what your body is comfortable keeping. Part 6, the birth of the goddess woman. I don't say that you're a goddess just for the sake of it, okay? It's fun. Oh, let's call each other goddesses and gods. It's your true reality. You have been creating your life and the circumstances in your life for a very long time, since the beginning of your life. You just haven't been doing it consciously, or maybe some of you have. But now I'm inviting you to do it more consciously, to take responsibility and accountability for everything in your life, because you are the creator. You have created things by your imagination. So your imagination informs your nervous system, okay? Because in your imagination, you're like, oh, all's cool. Like, I wanted this thing and I'm gonna get it. Obviously, I don't have to see outside yet in the 3D, because the 3D is dead. The 3D is slow. The 3D is just catching up, right? Your imagination is reality. So you're like, oh yeah, I already have it. Your nervous system is calmer. And then that thing comes in with ease. It's meant to be easy. When you assume this about yourself, right? Because that's the most important thing. When you're manifesting, who are you? Are you manifesting from being a weak human being? Or are you manifesting from the identity of a goddess, of a creatrix, of an evolved woman, of the operant power in your life? Because when you manifest from the operant power in your life, things look different from when you're trying to manifest as some like weak, powerless human being. The soft feminine is the most powerful force in the universe because she trusts her own divinity. Rest is not laziness. It's not avoidance. It isn't giving up. Rest is confidence. It's trust. It's embodiment. It's divine alignment, divine timing. Think of a child, okay? A child trusts that it will be provided for, right? A child doesn't have to try to get the attention of a mother or the father. It just knows, I'm going to be fed, I'm going to have my nappy changed, I'm going to be played with, I'm going to receive attention. That's like you. Become like a child. The universe wants to provide for you, okay? God wants to give to you. The goddess wants to make your life overflow with abundance, but she just wants you to be calm. She's like, you gotta chill before you give you anything, because your frequency is telling me that you're not ready for it. Because if I give you more, you'll just freak out, because you're already freaking out. I haven't even given you what you wanted. You were born worthy of ease. Don't forget that. So if you want to manifest, stop rushing, stop forcing, stop trying to prove, stop checking the 3D. Return to rest. Return to trust. Return to your feminine nature, which is just being. The universe responds to the woman who knows her power so deeply that she knows she doesn't have to fight for anything. She just gets it. Rest is not inactivity, it's spiritual alignment. And above all, rest is the highest form of faith.